From broke at 32 to billionaire, Charlie Munger's untold path to wealth and wisdom. When you hear the name Charlie Munger, you might immediately think of Warren Buffett's right-hand man, the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, one of the richest and wisest investors alive. But before the fame, the fortune, and the powerful boardroom meetings, Charlie Munger was just a man who hit rock bottom. At 32 years old, he was broke, divorced, grieving the death of his young son, and rebuilding his life from scratch. This is not a story of overnight success or lucky breaks. It's the story of how one man used clarity, discipline, relentless learning, and a different way of thinking to rise from devastation to one of the richest and most respected minds in the world. And more importantly, how you can learn from Charlie Munger's mental models and mindset to transform your own life. Humble beginnings in Omaha. Charlie Munger was born in 1924 in Omaha, Nebraska. It's no coincidence that Warren Buffett, his lifelong business partner, was born there too. The two men grew up just miles apart, though their friendship and partnership wouldn't truly begin until decades later. The 1920s and 30s were harsh times. The Great Depression tore through American families, and Charlie's was no exception. His father, a lawyer, struggled financially, and Charlie learned early about the value of money, hard work, and discipline. As a boy, Charlie was shy but intellectually curious. He worked in a local grocery store, the same store where a young Warren Buffett delivered newspapers. Yet, their paths wouldn't cross meaningfully for many years. Charlie showed academic promise. He studied mathematics at the University of Michigan but left to serve in World War II as a meteorologist in the Army Air Corps. After the war, he enrolled in Harvard Law School, skipping a traditional college degree entirely. The break at 32, rock bottom. By 32, Charlie Munger had the credentials and a decent legal career. But life had other plans. In the early 1950s, tragedy struck. Charlie's 8-year-old son, Teddy, was diagnosed with leukemia and died after a painful battle. The loss devastated Charlie and his then-wife Nancy. The couple divorced shortly after, and Charlie found himself emotionally shattered. Financially, he was not in a strong position either. Despite his legal career, he was broke and struggling to make sense of his life. Most people facing this kind of personal and financial ruin would give up. But not Charlie. He decided to change his life in a way few would dare, by shifting his focus from a predictable law career to the unpredictable world of investing and business. The pivot to investing and mental models. Unlike many who chase quick riches or fad investments, Charlie Munger did the opposite. He bet on himself and on his brain. He started reading, voraciously. But not just financial news or business books. Munger devoured literature on psychology, biology, physics, economics, history, and more. He believed success came from understanding the world through multiple lenses. This approach became his latticework of mental models, a framework of big ideas from many disciplines that allowed him to think clearly and avoid mistakes others made. In his own words, spend each day trying to be a little wiser than you were when you woke up. Munger's reading habits were intense, often hundreds of pages per day. He treated learning like a full-time job. He believed knowledge was the most reliable form of leverage. Meeting Buffett and building Berkshire Hathaway. In 1959, Charlie Munger met Warren Buffett again. The two men instantly connected. Buffett was already a successful investor but still clung to old ideas like buying cigar butts, cheap, struggling companies with a few puffs of value left. Charlie challenged Buffett's thinking. He argued, it's better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. Buffett took this advice seriously. Together, they transformed Berkshire Hathaway from a struggling textile company into a diversified investment powerhouse worth hundreds of billions. Their partnership blended Buffett's incredible investment instincts with Munger's multidisciplinary mental models and clear thinking. The philosophy, avoiding stupidity over seeking brilliance. Charlie Munger is famous for a simple but powerful idea: avoid stupidity. He often said it's easier to avoid dumb mistakes than to be brilliant all the time. His approach isn't flashy. It's not about quick wins or gambling on trends. It's about steady, rational thinking. He said, "The best thing a human being can do is to help another human being know more." And to him, knowledge is a lifelong pursuit. He urges people to avoid envy, avoid impulsive decisions, and focus on investing in what you deeply understand. The power of patience and compounding. One of Munger's greatest secrets to wealth is patience. He didn't chase instant profits or try to time the market. Instead, he bought high-quality businesses and held them for decades. This long-term mindset allowed compounding to work its magic, growing small investments into billions. He famously held stock in companies like Costco for decades, riding steady growth rather than wild ups and downs. His philosophy teaches that wealth is built slowly but surely, like a tree that grows strong over years, not a firework that dazzles briefly. Mental models that changed investing. What exactly are mental models? They're frameworks for thinking, big ideas from different fields that help you analyze problems better. Munger's favorite models include, inversion. Instead of asking, "How do I succeed?" ask, "How do I fail?" Avoiding failure is often easier than chasing success. Opportunity cost. Every decision has a cost, what you give up by choosing one option over another. Margin of safety. Always leave room for error. Never bet the farm on a single idea. Confirmation bias. Watch out for the tendency to only seek information that confirms your beliefs. Social proof. Be aware of herd mentality and don't follow the crowd blindly. By mastering these models, Munger made better decisions than most investors who rely on intuition or luck. Applying Munger's lessons in your life. So what can you learn from Charlie Munger? Read relentlessly. Build your own latticework of mental models. Don't rely on others to think for you. Be patient. Wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. Avoid get-rich-quick schemes. Avoid stupidity. Make fewer mistakes by thinking clearly and calmly. Invest in quality. Whether it's stocks, business, or yourself, focus on things with lasting value. Stay rational and independent. Ignore hype, trends, and peer pressure. Keep learning. The smartest people never stop reading. The legacy of a billionaire mind. Charlie Munger passed away at age 99, leaving behind a legacy of wisdom that continues to inspire millions. He proved that even after losing everything, you can rebuild, stronger, smarter, and richer than before. His story is proof that wealth isn't just about money, it's about mindset. About curiosity. About patience. It's about being a little wiser every single day. Final words. If Charlie Munger's journey inspires you, start today. Pick up a book. Start learning. Think clearly. Avoid dumb mistakes. Build your own mental models. Invest in what you understand. And above all, be patient. Because the path from broke to billionaire isn't magic. It's a mindset. And that mindset, anyone can develop it.